Welcome to our channel. Today our topic is about solar system. We live on a planet called the Earth that orbits the Sun once every 365 days. The Earth is one of 8 known planets, while the Sun is a very ordinary star about halfway through its lifetime with another 5,000 million years to go. The only reason the Sun does not look like the other stars is because it is much nearer to us. Even so, at 147 million kilometers, 93 million miles, away, it still takes about 8 minutes for light to reach us from the Sun. All the planets orbit the Sun in more or less the same plane. This is called the plane of the ecliptic. The planets are not evenly spaced but are in 3 groups: the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, the Earth and Mars, the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn, the outer planets, Uranus and Neptune. Pluto lost its status as a planet in 2006. An analysis of the orbits of comets, see later in this episode, has suggested that there may be another planet, between 1 and 10 times the size of Jupiter. This planet, if it exists, is about 3 trillion miles out from the Sun and is invisible to telescopes. Expect such claims and counter-claims to arise from time to time. Knowledge about the planets, ideas based on evidence. Much of the information about the planets in the solar system has been determined by observation. The planets Venus, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn can all be seen with the naked eye. However, much better information can be gathered with a telescope and, better still, by satellite and space probes. The name planets comes from the Greek word planetos, which means wanderer. This is because, unlike the stars whose position relative to each other is fixed, the planets appears to wander across the sky, first going ahead of the fixed stars and then appearing to stop and fall behind. As you can imagine, trying to devise theories to explain why this happened was a major preoccupation for many astronomers for much of history. Much of our knowledge about planets has come from simple observations with telescopes. For example, telescopes have revealed the rings of Saturn, the Great Red Spot of Jupiter, the polar ice caps of Mars, the meteorite craters on the Moon and the clouds on Venus. In the field of astronomy, scientists are limited in the extent to which they can carry out direct experiments on planets, as they have done on Mars and Venus. They are mainly limited to observation, so they must develop theories that are consistent with observational data. For example, the fact that Venus has clouds means that it must have an atmosphere. The fact that the Moon has large craters over its surface and no visible signs of water suggests that it does not have an atmosphere. The craters are produced by meteors hitting the surface. In the cases of the Earth and Venus, the meteors are burned up as a result of friction with the atmosphere.